What it do, ladies and gentlemen, is Jordan Reviews It, and we are here today to review some things, ladies and gentlemen. I know it's been a while. We're back. Ladies and gentlemen, I know it's been a while. We're back. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a early Friday at 12 a.m. I just got from seeing Bad Boys 4 and then later finishing out the game for the Boston Celtics and the Dallas Mavericks, ladies and gentlemen. My bets are in. We're going to talk about a lot of things today, ladies and gentlemen. I just very quickly want to state that, ladies and gentlemen, it's good to be back. Ladies and gentlemen, it's good to be back. It's been a lot, ladies and gentlemen, between now and the last time we met. Quite frankly, ladies and gentlemen, I very quickly want to give you all my review on Bad Boys 4. I want to give you my review on Bad Boys 4. No spoilers here, ladies and gentlemen. Quite frankly, I'm gonna throw this off top. It was the best Bad Boys movie to date. And not only was it the best Bad Boys movie to date, it might be one of the best action movies I've seen in a very long time. And some of you out there might say to yourself, oh, he's capping. You know, he's going off the hype, but just seeing it. Ladies and gentlemen, go see it. And then you'll get what I'm saying. From the standpoint of keeping up with the nostalgia of Bad Boys 2, which I think was the peak of the series, even though I feel like when you look at what the overall attempt at bringing someone such as Will Smith, a acting icon, and Martin Lawrence, a comedic genius, together for a serious action movie with Bad Boys 1, which was later sort of mimicked and attempted to be overcome by attempts with movies like Rush Hour and modern day, or even for it itself to be a modern day version of Lethal Weapon. I think that in terms of the comedic acting sort of duo, it's the best that we've had within the series or the saga, relative to the whole action duo sort of a theme. And, just to stay on the topic of Bad Boys here, from the standpoint of just the comedic relief, the action in and of itself, the camera angles, the storyline, everything to me was, they didn't fall short in any regard. The only negative that I could give the film is that there was some allusion to sort of giving us an homage to the original Haitian, or the Haitian sort of scene. There was sort of an allusion to an attempt to reconnect with the Haitian scene from Bad Boys 3, which I felt like they could have done a better job with. They kind of brisked over it pretty fast, but when they introduced some of the celebrity appearances that they did, I think that it was appreciated, especially with the people that they included. I won't spoil them for you because they are, I think, very well placed, especially when we talk about a show, or rather a movie based in the city of Miami. And I think that it was really great. There were certain scenes that did take you back to the older films, and I think that if they would have capitalized on that particular scene from Bad Boys 2, it would have been so much things that they could have done. But the comedy was great. This was the first time with a movie where I feel like a scene really made me laugh. Some things it's all right, I'm laughing at it, and this was just, it's legit comedy. You know what I'm saying? And we've missed this, man. And I think that you got to give your kudos to the director, the producer, and the acting by everyone there, ladies and gentlemen. It was great. I think Bad Boys 4 was great. I know some people had a negative reception with Bad Boys, the Haitian scene was in Bad Boys 2. I'm sorry, I think I know a lot of people had a bit of a negative reception with the previous Bad Boys movie. Some of the things people didn't really like as much. Some people felt like the storyline was a little weak, but this one here, man, they got it right. I mean, from just everything, there was no loose ends in my opinion. With the exception of what I mentioned earlier. Some things I do think were skipped over, but I think it was because they were trying to keep a movie at a certain length. But I all in all, I give Bad Boys for a 9.5 out of 10, ladies and gentlemen. I'm calling it now. They're going to do a spinoff. I feel that they're going to do a spinoff with Armando, Mike Lowry's son, Captain Conrad Howard's daughter, and I forgot his name. It skips my mind. But Martin Lawrence's son-in-law. There's a scene that he has in this movie that it sets it up. It sets it up. Oh man, when you see it, you're gonna like, oh shit. So yeah, and I do also appreciate that migration, that very real family element of being the son-in-law who's married to the daughter or married to the girl with a family that has very strong family. Like, it's like whenever you're the man that gets married to the daughter, families tend to really be built around their daughters in a way where the daughter is very well connected with their family, especially in Black American culture. And so like that family of the wife that you married really becomes like your family, like really, really becomes your family. Having to sort of navigate that your manhood within that realm where manhood already exists, the way that he sort of evolves into, okay, now we're officially the OGs. We're officially the grandpas. We're no longer on grill duty. Like, we're the ones who sit back, and now this is the man who's hosting the cookouts now. You know what I'm saying? That sort of evolution, as you will. So I highly, highly, highly recommend going out and seeing Bad Boys. If you didn't like the last one as much, this one will definitely redeem itself for the saga, the trilogy, the quintuplet, whatever it may be for you. I think that this is the best one to date. I think it's the best one to date. I know that Bad Boys 1, Bad Boys 2 was so well at pairing with one another. Often we hear that the sequel sucks, right? But, how they built on each other was great. Bad Boys 3 comes along and we're like, all right, it's a little bit off in terms of like the timeliness. But once we get used to this new version of this duo, and then they give us something really, really, really great, and we see how that chemistry is still there with number 4, and they got some things right, and they implemented some new things from camera angles and just a lot. And I just feel like Bad Boys 4 was really, 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 really good. So go out and see it, ladies and gentlemen. I highly recommend it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are 10 minutes in. Let's move forward to our next topic. Very quickly, I know it's been some time since I've been able to speak with you all. I know there's been a large conversation around the WNBA, everything going on there with Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, and the various other counterparts. And quite frankly, ladies and gentlemen, there was a statement made by certain podcasters, spectators, things like that. And I won't take anything away from people's perspectives. But what I will say, quite frankly, that I think that everyone's getting wrong here is we have to understand that everything we're doing in the realm of commentary for the WNBA benefits the WNBA. And I don't think people realize that there was a time in the NBA where there was some speculation as to whether or not the sport as a league would exist for much longer. And they had to make shifts. They had to merge with one league to the next, right? While we have the NBA today from the ABA and XYZ. So we are looking at the WNBA, I believe, 2 years into being incorporated with the NBA. And I think they're doing a fantastic job of making it a spectator sport, because at a time, the WNBA may not have been something that people were willing to watch, or maybe wasn't as televised as it should have been. But one thing I think that needs to be addressed, quite frankly, and what gets the you tripping,
That nigga's tripping,
tag, is everyone saying the rhetoric of the fact that Caitlin Clark brought all of this thing to your sport and you all need to let her shine. That is absolutely absurd. Absolutely absurd. The WNBA has ballers, bona fide hoopers. I'm talking about 25, 10, and 6 a game. They got hoopers, right? And while I do believe that Caitlin Clark is a talented player, I believe those two girls over there at New York Liberty were Caitlin Clark before Caitlin Clark. And I just think that timing-wise, the WNBA wasn't where it was then as where it is now. And also, to the point that Angel Reese made about, it's not just about Caitlin Clark. It's about the dynamic of me and Caitlin Clark and other various things as well. And I'll add to that conversation by saying what helped. Honestly, let's talk about like the whole real dynamic of it all. We've always dealt with the spectrum of race within the conversation of sports. And when white people get that great white hope, that's always been an idea. That's always been a very real reality when we talk about sports, right? That great white hope, right? Larry Bird was that. Like that dynamic between Larry Bird and Magic Johnson and drawing an audience based on racial alignments. It's always been an element to draw attention. And Caitlin Clark is the great white hope. Right? White people root for her because, or there are mass amounts of individuals who root for her, specifically white people, because they want a white person to succeed at a sport that is so dominated by by black people. They want someone white to dominate in an area or spectrum that white people dominate, that black people dominate in. They want to see themselves be great at a sport that culturally, historically, they have not been good at. And it makes sense. I mean, they want someone that they can root for. I mean, we see the same thing in rap music, right? But the reality is that, Caitlin Clark is a rookie. She has to go through these things, to grow through these things. And we got to see if the pressure bursts pipes or makes diamonds, right? And so, I think that we'll see where it goes for her. I would again, I think Matt Barnes said something quite profound where he mentioned, hey, where are your teammates at helping you, right? You got to adapt. You got to get with it. So I think it's going to be a journey for her. I want her to succeed. But at the same time, if she doesn't, we got plenty of ballers in the WNBA. And there's a lot more people than just two rookies that we should be paying attention to, right? And I think that's the aspect of the conversation that's frustrating for a lot of people who've been covering the WNBA for quite some time. Like you got all these noobs chiming in now, including Stephen A., including these people on major networks, including these people with major podcasts, chiming in officially and just running with the bullshit narrative centered around Caitlin Clark when there's so much more talent in the WNBA that deserves your commentary. Like, look at it as a sport, right? Don't just look at it as this one person to save it all. Because I'm going to be real with you. I don't believe that Caitlin Clark will ever be the face of the WNBA, especially not with the way that with the way that Angel Reese is playing right now. I mean, the WNBA is still very much the big position sport, right? The biggest one on the court is generally going to dominate the best. I think Camila Cardoza, while she started off a little bit slow this year, is going to develop a better game over time, and she could be something as well. Aja Wilson, I mean, she's just going to continue to be great. You still got Candace Parker and Diana Taurasi playing, even though they got into their little spat, which, let's just be real, like, NBA players get into these spats too. NBA players foul hard too. We don't have these large conversations about it in the way that we're doing it for the WNBA. Like, everybody's like hyping up, oh my God, these women are being hurt and bruised and battered. Like, it's a contact sport. Women do it too, guys. Like, why are we so shocked at this? It's the same sport, just a different gender. So, yeah, all in all, man, like, stop it with the cap. Stop it with the BS about all this Caitlin Clark stuff. Give her some time to develop. Give her some time to become what she's going to be in this league. But there are already stars. There are already all-stars. There are already great players in this sport. And if she doesn't pick things up, I don't think she's going to be an all-star this season. I think Angel Reese wins Rookie of the Year with the way that she's balling. I mean, averaging a double-double right now. And a lot of people are going to be upset about it. A lot of people are going to say, oh, my goodness, she's not in the three-point contest. Oh, my goodness, she's not an all-star. Well, quite frankly, it's because she's not playing that great. She's not the best player on her team currently. I don't think that she has a really good coach right now. I mean, knowing what's coming at her, you would figure you would plan around that, allow her to find her spots and succeed, right? But, I mean, when you are the first draft pick, you're generally going to go to the worst team in your league. And one player typically doesn't change that reality unless, of course, you're a generational great, which we only see once in a generation. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's give her some time. I hope she succeeds. Shout out to all the talent in the WNBA. I hope the coverage continues. I love women's basketball. Another thing I meant to mention as well, in respect to Angel Reese's comments, I also feel that even bigger than the Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark saga or versus, we also have to talk about the momentum from just WNCAA basketball helped make the WNBA more exciting to watch as well. Like, WNCAA basketball was more exciting than men's college basketball this year, right? With South Carolina doing what they did. Right. I mean, Dawn Staley has to go down as one of the greatest sports attributions, players, specimens, people, efforts of all time. I mean, you won on every level, and you were fantastic on every level. You got to give Dawn Staley her flowers. And I think what she was able to do back to back with South Carolina, even in how she finished last year, with the talent she has and what she's been able to build, has also added to the hype of the sport as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's WNBA. That's my take on it. I think it's a lot of fluff. It's a lot of bullshit out there. I think a lot of people are just giving you bullshit, a lot of dumb stuff. And I think that a lot of the rhetoric doesn't show the proper respect to the sport itself. So there's that, ladies and gentlemen. In addition, ladies and gentlemen, we are on a Friday. It's 12:35 a.m. On my way here, I got an opportunity to listen to Tim's album. I think it started off a little bit slow, But overall, ladies and gentlemen, I think that it's a great album. It's very unique. I think that it started off with attempting to appeal to westernized culture a bit with some of the sounds, the 808s incorporation, the snare, the bass, what have you. But I think as you navigate throughout the album, she finds her lane, she sticks in it, and she does it well. And I think that is something for people who appreciate who she is as an artist. That's the only project I've been fortunate enough to listen to so far. Obviously, because African or like the continent of Africa, their music typically drops on our Thursday. But I am looking forward to listening to the K-Tronda project, which you'll hear from me, as well as the Don Tolliver project. I think that this one is going to be the breakout one for him. So, yeah. We'll see how it all goes. Even though I think Don Tolliver's project drops next week. Yep, that is true. It drops next week on the 14th. What do we have this week? I listened to the Big Hit album. It was good. Yeah, things haven't updated yet. There was a major album coming out this week, I believe. Let's take a quick look, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to the Don Tolliver project. I think that one's going to be really good. Bon Jovi, is this new? Gotta give that a listen. But I think K-Tronda, okay, you got a Honcho project before the album. See, that makes you not want to listen to stuff. Okay, 9-track thing. EP. But it's like when people do stuff like that, it kind of makes you not want to listen to that one. You know what I mean? The Game dropped something. Featured down. No, thank you. We'll see. Nothing major. Kendrick Lamar performing on the 19th of this month in LA. Something could be coming soon from him or Baby Keem. I look forward to it. But as far as I'm seeing, ladies and gentlemen, maybe because it's the ass cracker Friday, that Apple Music isn't reporting everything. I know I see K-Tronda, I see K-Camp. Ooh, Robert Glasper. Gotta give that a listen. One Mike Eagle, Smino with a single. Jerry is essentially Haji, dropping a new single. Gotta give him a listen. Sofago with a single, okay. Cactus Jack on the move. Nothing major, ladies and gentlemen, as of now. I'm going to give that Tim's a good listen. But, ladies and gentlemen, that's all I have for right now. We'll keep it short for today. I'd like to thank you all for listening. I really appreciate you all. We're going to have this coming on a weekly basis. We got a big show in collaboration with another podcast coming up soon on Juneteenth. And yeah, thank you all for listening. It's been great. It's been good. It's been wonderful. Peace.